What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Skater XL video. Today we are going to be talking a bit about EA Skate though. More precisely, I'll be showing some examples from Skate 3, but today we're talking about what Skater XL already does better than Skate 3. And what I mean by already is that this is a game in early access. We don't have that much content from it yet, it's still being worked on. But for it to already do something better than the EA Skate series, I think that's impressive. So it is kind of going to be an attack on EA Skate, and don't get me wrong, I love the game. It's been a huge part of like my gaming growing up. But we won't be focusing on the things that EA Skate does better than Skater XL, because there are some things, of course. It's been AAA games produced by many people. It's a long, ongoing series, and this is just an early access indie studio game. I have 5 areas I'm gonna talk about in this video, and the first one is going to be the free flip mode. Then we have the freedom in slides and grinds. And then the smaller areas are gonna be Ollie Norths and Souths, or let's just say 1-foots. It's also gonna be the Windups, and then the pushes. But how about we just get on top of the stage and then start talking about the free flip mode. If you've ever played EA Skate 1, 2 or 3, you have some styles you can choose in the start of the game for your character, and that is really awesome. But once you've chosen a style, each flip trick you do is gonna look pretty much the same. You can of course do it high and low and control the height of the trick, but the flicking animation, the catch and all that is gonna be the exact same every time. Now there are glitches that can change up the style of how that after you've caught the board, the way you bring it down. So the most popular one is the nollie inward heel tail tap glitch. Then you catch the board and then it goes boned. If you do a kickflip and then on the way down just hold like a nose manual in the air, I don't think that looks good in EA Skate, but I actually think it looks pretty good already in Skater XL. And you also have different degrees as to how much you want to do it. But the main important thing about this is that this is of course the free flip mode, so you can control how fast you flick it and how high up or low on the board you flick your foot. So if you flick it low and just straight off to the side, you might get a pretty rocket flip. But if you flick further up, well then you might actually turn it into a forward flip, because then it starts diving. You can flip it as fast as you can and get some double flips, maybe even triple flips in there. Or you can flip it like really low and get like a good looking flip down a huge stair set, which has been the big problem for the EA Skate series. Doing flip tricks down big stuff doesn't look that good. In the EA Skate series, you're able to hold every straight flip, so this means kick flips and heel flips in every stance. You can hold that up to about 4 flips, so you can do a quad flip at max, but you can't hold any of the other tricks. You can't do a varial flip and let that spin into a 360 double flip, even though that would be really awesome. But you actually can't do that in Skater XL. Not first try though. It's because I wasn't concentrated enough. So if we just get a varial flip and let that keep flipping, then we get a 360 double flip. And this counts for a lot of other tricks as well, like hard flips. You can make that into a 360 double hard flip, or you can flip extremely slow and maybe turn it into a 540 flip. I'm just gonna do a 360 flip off the drop here 3 times in a row, but I'll try to do it differently every time. So this right here could be the first one. Now let's try to get different movement on our legs so we get a different style. And we can try to get a ridiculous style here in the end. Okay, that was a little bit weird. It might not be that visible, but if you look closely, all of them just have a different feel to them. So if you want to get your own personal style on your character in the game, it is perfect for that. Now while we are on tray flips, I just want to get to the next part, which is the foot catches. So you can actually choose to catch the board with either your front or your back foot in this game. That was a terrible one. I don't do this too often, but it's just nice to have the option. Let's just get a good look in tray flip though. I might not be the best at that, but let's just also get the back foot catch in there, even though that's not how you want to catch a tray flip. But okay. And the last point I want to make for the free flip is that you can also do forward flips. You can't do that in Skate 3 or the other EA Skate games, but let's just get one here off the stage. There are different ways to do it, and I don't think I'm that good at it. I think my board kind of clips through my feet most of the time, but you can of course adjust by moving the feet out of the way. But I mean, this also works with heel flips. And once again, I'm not good at doing this. I have seen some steezy ones though. I think there are some tutorials for them, so I should maybe check those out. But yeah, forward flips are possible. I've moved over to the very long flat bar now because we're gonna talk about slides and grinds, and we're starting out with the slides. In the EA Skate series, every nose slide, tail slide, blunt slide, nose blunt slide, board slide, and lip slide are always perfectly 90 degrees. While you're sliding in any of those tricks, you can move your upper body, and if you're in the board slide or lip slide, you can move from truck to truck. But you can't dip down or transition into other grinds smoothly. You have to like pop into them. You don't have to in SKATER XL. So let's just take a look at a board slide. We'll do 2 pushes. Get into it, and from here I can like go to this side, I can go to the other side, and we don't need to be a perfect 90 degrees. So let's just get into it again, and from here we can like tweak around. I can get into a wheelie grind like that if I want to. Especially if you're sliding something round in Skate 3, you just get pushed off to the truck, but then you're like still a perfect 90 degree, where that in SKATER XL, once we're able to do proper bent slides, you should be tweaked like that to actually stay inside the slide. Now when it comes to nose slides, tail slides, blunt slides, and nose blunt slides, in Skate 3 you basically have the same position of stall every single time. Whereas in SKATER XL, once we get into it, here we are in a back tail, now I only have my back foot pressed down. What if we land having pressed both of them down? Then we are up a bit more, and maybe that invites to getting over the rail. It's still early access though, so something like that may happen. But also, while we're in the back tail or nose slide or whatever it is, we don't have to be a perfect 90 degrees. So every single slide can look so different. I've never really been satisfied with doing crooked grinds in Skate 3 or the other EA Skate games. I'm gonna probably mess that up a lot, but it's always just a grind in the middle of the truck, or at least you're not really pinched. You might be off to the center a little bit, but it always looks the same. Even though you actually are able to transition into other stuff from a crooked grind. So you could go to a nose grind, you could go to an over crook, maybe even into a back lip or a board slide. But when you're grinding on that truck, it's not pinched at all, and you can really get that in SKATER XL. But let's just try to land in one actually. Not a crooked nose slide, but yeah, we just talked about a second ago. See, here we are pinched right next to the wheel, exactly how you want to be able to do it. You can also do it where you're like on the other side. It might be a little harder to land in, but see here, I was pretty much on the full ledge, but you could also do a crooked grind, more like a nose grind, but we'll kind of slide into it and get the pinch on the wheel we want. I already think that's a lot more realistic looking than the crooked grinds in Skate 3. It's actually kind of impressive that you can do it like that. I don't know anyone in real life that does a crooked grind in the middle of the truck. I know some of my friends that don't pinch it, but that looks just like a nose grind that's kind of off to the side. Most of my friends do the pinch, and you should be able to do that in a realistic skateboarding game. As you guys know from my videos, I really like doing it front side, because I can't do that in real life and you can just pinch it so good. I've moving over to the handrail now because I want to do some 50s where we lock in properly. So in Skate 3 it's the same thing. You kind of just grind in the middle of your truck. You can't even tweak it to be the 50 you want, so either toe side or heel side grind, maybe even twisted one that are very popular nowadays. Here we are. I think we were grinding toe side on that. That's not what you want on a front side 50. I'd want to be heel side. So I think that's where we are right now, but let's try to get a twisted one too. Yeah, exactly. That might have been a little hard to see, so we'll get another angle. This also goes for stuff like 5-0s and nose grinds. You can actually lock in SKATER XL, where in Skate 3 and the other EA Skate games, you don't really have that much of an option. Last thing I want to talk about with the grinds, I kind of talked about it with the small flat bar, but if we try to do a switch up grind, so we might even start in a slide, front board, and then we can tweak the board, start turning, and now we're in like a fakie Smith or fakie feeble. Let's try a different one. So what if we do a lip slide and then press up and turn, and see, now we're in that fakie Smith again. We can also try something on the ledge. So if we start out in a 5-0, then there's a technique to kind of switch over into a nose grind or crooked grind, and this also goes for a lot of other stuff, where in Skate 3 it might be very hard to do a realistic look in 5-0 to a switch crook. Now that we've tackled the bigger areas like the free flip mode and also the grind system, which I think both heavily relied on improving on style, or at least like personal style, now we're moving on to some of the smaller areas, and the first one being the 1 foot. So let's just get an Ollie North off this kicker. So as you could see there, I twisted my front foot straight out and then I boned the board with my back foot. But that's just one way of doing an Ollie North. I could also press the stick, move my foot out to the side. I haven't really messed around with these, but that is one way to do it. Let's actually bone the board like last time. Maybe we'll go off the kicker here. Give us a bit more time to do so. Oh no, now I did a south, but that was shifty. Oh man, let's just try that with the front foot. See, that is the craziest looking Ollie North I've ever seen. In the EA Skate series, the Ollie North and Ollie South looks the same no matter how you do it. I mean, you can turn with it and maybe the animation right now is better than the SKATER XL animation, but that's gonna improve since this is a game in development. I can't believe I haven't done any of the like shifty Ollie Norths. That is looking so insane. What if we kind of bone it a little bit? Oh man, why haven't I done this before? Let's do it with the south. That is crazy looking. Oh my god, I'm having too much fun right now. But we have more things to cover, even though I kind of feel like this next thing, I already said what I wanted to say on it, so it's the wind-ups. If you do a high pop and you crouch down and you start turning now, you see that we'll kind of wind up for a trick. So that looks really good on the 360s. We can also just do it front side. Whereas in Skate 3, you can't do that. If you crouch down and start turning, you'll actually decrease your spinning in the air. So for 360, you have to just ride straight and then pop and spin. That's actually hard to do. I can't even do that in SKATER XL, but that's actually pretty realistic, I guess. I'm not good at any 360s in real life, but when I try my back 360s, I really just wind up and get my shoulders and arms going. Now, right now, you can't do it with the low pops. So if I start turning now, he'll just turn like normal. No wind up. But you can do it with a medium pop. So if I crouch down with the right stick and then go halfway down on the left, this is a medium pop, then you can also do it. Even though I kind of failed at it there, I don't know what I was doing. I think we gotta crouch down a little further on the medium pop. Yeah. Now you can trick the game and actually do the wind up from a low pop, but it'll kind of look like you're setting up for a high pop. You just gotta release the stick a little bit before it and you will do a low pop that's winded up. But since it is a game in early access, still in development, I'm sure this is bound to change. And the very last thing we're gonna talk about in this video is the pushes. So if I just take one push in SKATER XL, it's gonna look like this. That was it. Let's do one more. We can also do one Mongo push. Now, as you might have noticed, he just does a push and then puts the foot back on the board. That's not the case in Skate 3 though, or the other EA Skate games. I keep mentioning Skate 3 only. In the EA Skate series, he does 1.5 push if you just push the push button once. That was a lot of push in one sentence there. While you actually can cancel that half push animation, it's still annoying and it shouldn't be in there. So even if we do more than one push, he'll put the foot right back on the board. No 1.5 push. I actually don't know if you can do that. If I try to maybe let go once the foot is out there, like here. No, still doesn't do a half push. But I think that was all I wanted to mention for this video. If you agree or disagree with me, I'd love to hear your opinion down there in the comment section. But of course, this was a pretty one-sided video since I purposely took all the things that SKATER XL does better than the EA Skate games. We could of course take some features from the EA Skate series that they do better than SKATER XL, but I think it would be a little unfair, and I just kinda wanted to, yeah, what did I want to? I think I wanted to say how promising the game is since it's made by an indie studio and it's an early access game, and it already does these things better than like the third game in a very successful AAA game series. I don't know how much sense I'm making anymore, it's pretty late, but hopefully you guys get what I mean and don't think I'm bashing on the game, because I still love the EA Skate series. I just also happen to really love SKATER XL. But let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section, and then I'll just see you guys in the next video, because it was it for this one. If you enjoyed it, I would of course appreciate a like, and then I'll just see you guys in the next video like I just said. Alright, so peace out.